This free step-by-step video comes to you directly from Haynes, creators of the world's best repair manuals. Fix your car or truck the right way with our accurate and reliable information at your side. You can complete more than 200 jobs on this vehicle when you purchase the complete online manual at Haynes.com.
Warning: gasoline is extremely flammable and repairing fuel system components can be dangerous. Do not allow any kind of open flame or spark to come near part of the fuel system. Have a proper fire extinguisher on hand. Raise the vehicle and support it securely on jack stands. Relieve the fuel system pressure. Here's how. Disconnect the fuel pump control module electrical connector. Start the engine and allow it to idle until the engine stalls. Then crank the engine a few times to make sure all the pressure is released. Disconnect the cable from the negative terminal of the battery before working on the fuel system. This model contains a high-pressure fuel pump, which also requires the pressure to be relieved in this system before servicing any other fuel delivery lines. Place a flare nut wrench on the high-pressure fuel tube, then wrap the wrench and nut with the shop towel to absorb any remaining fuel pressure while loosening the nut. Loosen the nut and release the remaining pressure. Retighten the nut securely. Make sure all fuel-soaked rags are handled and disposed of properly. Remove the fuel tank. This is done much easier if the fuel tank is empty. Remove the rear portion of the exhaust system by loosening this clamp fastener and disengaging the hangers. Disconnect the evap and fuel supply line quick connect fittings. Disconnect the fuel tank harness electrical connector. Loosen the hose clamp and disconnect the fuel filler neck hose from the tank. Support the fuel tank securely, then remove the fuel tank retaining strap bolts. Remove the straps and carefully lower the fuel tank. Disconnect the electrical connector on top of the fuel pump module. Then disconnect the fuel supply and evap lines on top of the module. Remove the fuel pump module lock ring using a lock ring removal tool, or tap the fuel pump module lock ring counterclockwise with the hammer and brass punch to avoid sparks. Make sure, at all costs, that no form of sparks or flame come in contact with fuel or the fuel tank. Carefully pull the fuel pump module out of the fuel tank enough to disconnect the fuel vapor hose quick connect fitting and separate the hose. Lift the module out of the tank completely, angling it as necessary to protect the fuel level sensor float arm. Inspect the O-ring and replace it if it shows any signs of deterioration. Install the new fuel pump module. Angling is necessary, and reconnect the hose inside the tank before fully inserting. Align the tabs on the module to its proper original position. Install the lock ring and tap it clockwise with the hammer and brass punch until it is secure. Reconnect the fuel supply and evap lines on top of the module. Then reconnect the electrical connector. Support and position the fuel tank back into place. Install the fuel tank straps and their mounting fasteners. Tighten them securely. Reconnect the fuel filler neck hose and tighten the hose clamp securely. Reconnect the evap and fuel supply line quick connect fittings. Reconnect the fuel tank harness electrical connector. Reconnect the fuel pump control module electrical connector. Reinstall the rear portion of the exhaust system. Secure the hangers and the clamp nut. Be sure to double check to make sure all fuel lines are secure and properly fastened under the vehicle and the nuts in the engine compartment at the high pressure fuel pump. Safely remove the jack stands and lower the vehicle. Reconnect the cable to the negative battery terminal. Tighten the nut securely. Start the engine and check for fuel leaks.